Welcome to the Don't Call Me Midlife podcast.
I can't believe this is really happening. I can't believe it.
I know. Here we are.
After so many texts, so many voice memos, we both were crying this morning about this. We are just so excited to be here.
I know. So excited. Girl, what's in your cup today?
My cup, I got my Stanley. And I have ice cold water in there with lots of ice, which is really funny because I really like room temperature water, but my kids have lately been obsessed with ice. So I put it in my cup and it stays cold and I feel like it's a special treat.
Oh, that's amazing. I used to chew on ice when I was little. I would take a fun fact.
I don't think that's good for your teeth.
No, I still have my teeth intact. I probably have a bunch of cracks, but I used to take a cup of ice and put it on my bedside and chew it. So I only like ice cold water.
I love that. My family loves it. What's in your cute little mug there?
Okay, so I'm double fisting today. I've got some like almost gone tea and I've got my water. So a little energy and a little hydration.
Okay, I like that double fisting.
Yeah. Being in Colorado, it's super dry here. So I am always trying to drink water so it doesn't age me even more.
I got it. We need to stay hydrated for sure. I am Alix, and I've got 3 boys in the Boston area. And fun fact is my husband is also named Alix, and I'm 46 years old. Tell me about you, Nicole.
Okay. I'm a spring chicken compared to my husband. Just kidding. I'm Nicole, and I also have 3 boys. And currently in the Denver area. We moved here about 4 years ago. And I am also 46. I think I'm older than you, Alix, by a month, actually.
I don't think by much. I knew that I loved you when you lived in Colorado. That's one of my favorite places to be. My husband and I want to retire there. So I love that you live there for sure. Do you remember how we first became friends? Because we're not like lifelong besties, right? We are.
No, but it feels like it.
It feels like it, for sure.
Yes.
But do you remember the first time we met?
I feel like we met in the online business class that we were taking, like the membership. And I want to say that like when we were in there, we're all encouraged to follow each other. And I don't know, there was just something about you that I don't know, you're just such a light and I love your energy. I'm serious.
I remember the same thing about you. I remember seeing you and thinking, wow, she's such a cool person. I had that vibe about you that I was like, I'm so not cool. And so I was like, I want to be like Nicole. I want to be friends with her. I want to be cooler.
You're so funny.
We both had our own businesses and we were both newly starting our businesses. And then we started following each other. And I remember thinking, is she going to think I'm a weirdo following her if I comment on her stuff? No. Do you ever have that feeling with people?
I do all the time. But the funny thing is, before I started doing this, I would get like so excited when they wrote back and I'd be like, oh my gosh, like they took the time. And I wanted to follow up like with more questions just about, instead of, oh, what, can you send me the link? I just wanted to connect with them more. And sometimes there would be like a little conversation in there, but I always wondered, like, am I weird? Was it coming off weird? And then would it be weird to follow up with them again? Yeah, no, I totally get it. But
well, also, you know what, Nicole, we're both 46. So let's just be totally honest. Social media is new. I did not know how to post a story, did not even know what it was. I had to have one of my best friends show me how to even post a story. And now it's a little bit more second nature. But this whole social media world, posting reels, posting this, posting that was something that was totally new. And I remember that I loved talking to you so much. And we did lives together. We did Instagram lives. And I think I didn't even know what that was. I think we came up with the idea. We sounded so professional and we were like, yeah, let's do a live together because I just want to talk to you more and more.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you too. You're like, will you come on and talk to my people about, I think it was holiday dressing. It was almost a year ago. Gosh, I feel like I've known you longer. Yeah. And then I was like, I want Alix to come. I want my community to meet Alix and have her come and talk about her meal planning. And I think we're like, let's do a series, right? After a couple.
Yeah, it started out as a series.
Yeah. Feeling good from the inside out. Yeah.
Yep. Yes. Oh my gosh. I almost forgot that.
Yeah. I know. Because
am I midlife?
Yeah. Exactly. As we shifted into this podcast, I think that because it was during the summer and you were traveling and I was home a lot with the kids, I think we just took a little backseat on it and brought the podcast forward, which I'm so excited about.
Yeah, it was a dream. It was a dream. And I think every
Yeah.
time we talked, it was like more and more things were that we had in common, right? We both have boys. We both like similar things. If we like margaritas, we like
Yeah.
martinis, we both like lemon desserts. It would just be
Yeah.
one thing after the other that sort of
Yeah.
morphed. And I was like, wow, you really get me. And
Yeah.
also a fun fact is that we have never met in person.
Isn't that crazy? I want to
We're going
like
to.
reach
We're
through
going
the
to.
screen and hug you. And yes, yes.
Yeah.
But I text you probably just as much as I text my like very best friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
this friendship means a lot to me. And it's really evolved quickly. And
Mm-hmm.
I love how this space has brought us together.
Yeah, it means a lot to me too. And I know that there's certain things that you are my first text about, right? Because I'm just like, Nicole will get me. She will understand what I'm going through with these boys. She'll understand me, non-judgmental. I think our friendship also blossomed and keeps blossoming because we are in this part of our lives where we are not afraid to be vulnerable, right? And
Yes.
to almost call each other out a little bit about it. Hey, you seem off. Like is something wrong? It seems like you just need to talk through something. And that seems really easy to do with us.
Yes. Yes. And not take it personal, or if something has come up last minute and we can't do a live, like how many lives did we switch around? We'll do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we don't even end up doing it. And it's okay, life came up and it's nothing personal. And I know whatever Alix is going through or whatever I'm going through, it's just part of life, and you have to be flexible and non-judgmental. And if I'm like, oh, you know what, I just can't do it today. I can't show up. I don't know. I just don't want to brush my hair and talk. And you're just like, okay, take a day for yourself. It's nice to have a non-judgmental space with you. And
I totally agree. And when we kept on talking, it was this concept of midlife kept on coming over and over. And we were talking about what does it mean? Then we'd Google it. And I think one of the things about you did something on your stories. Do you remember that? You did something on your stories that was, what's another term for midlife?
Oh, yes. Oh, there were some like colorful comments in there. They were great. Yes.
There were. One of our friends recommended one that still stuck with me is the halfway hotties.
Halfway hotties. Yes. Thank you, Angie.
Maybe that's what we should have called this podcast.
Yeah.
But one of the things I think we in this midlife that we have, I know, is like you're saying about that trust factor, the flexibility, the non-judgmentalness is this unspoken bond, right? I was at lunch with a friend last week and I had this similar experience where she said something and I literally just grabbed her hand and looked into her eyes. And it was something about being our age, being a busy mom. And we just knew, right? Not a lot of people who are not going through the same thing. We are going through the same things. And I think it's just knowing that someone knows exactly what you're feeling about when you're talking about pulling out your glasses because you can't read the menu, right? That is a really strong feeling for me.
Yeah. I'm almost there. But yeah. Yes, I definitely have to do the back and forth motion. Yes. But yes, having somebody get you at this age is it's just so special. And I realized that when I came here, I didn't have that. And I would try to find it on I have my best friend, but I'm just saying she works and she's just not always available. Just finding connection and just listening to somebody else on a podcast or an influencer and watching somebody's stories, just having some sort of community. And I think this podcast that we're creating, I think this is what we're trying to do. Have other women out there like us know that we're going through the same thing. We don't have it figured out, but we're going to share with you and be vulnerable and just have you in it with us. Right?
Like we're all in this together. The good, the bad, the ugly, the hard, the challenging, all the things that we're going to celebrate. So when we hear the word midlife, because this is a relatively newer term on how I may or may not refer to myself. So have you Googled midlife, by the way? Okay. What do you see? Tell me.
Yes. Okay. So
tell me everything.
It's not how I see myself. Okay. It's what I see. I see beautiful women, but I feel like older looking. Like,
Older.
yeah, they look almost like 20 years older than
Mm-hmm.
myself, you, my circle of friends. And it's almost like retirement type posts. Like they're not in the midst of living life. It's almost like it's just like smooth sailing downhill
Right.
pictures,
Like you're
almost
more
like
towards
Golden
like
Girls.
Golden
Like,
Girls. What?
yeah, yes.
How old were
Like,
they? I heard someone said
yeah,
that they, in the Golden Girls, because I used to watch that show too,
yeah.
they're our age. Is that true? No.
I think so. I think they were like in their late 40s. I think Rue McClanahan, who played Blanche Devereaux, was like in
Okay.
her late 40s. I think
Wow.
Estelle Getty was the youngest one, but they
Mm-hmm.
made her look older. But yeah, like maybe Estelle Getty was in her late 40s, something like that, early 50s. Like they were young. They were our age. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I think a lot of it is when I Googled midlife, I Google it a lot. And they talk a lot
Yeah.
about midlife crisis and all
Yeah.
these things. I think one of the things that you and I want to do is change this landscape and change the way that people view midlife. I was texting a friend last week for her birthday and she's used the word midlife. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't realize it was like such a buzzword that people really use. So I think we want to make midlife relatable and
Yeah. And
talk
fun.
about the fun. Yes, I was going to say
Yes.
fun, the fun parts of it, also the vulnerable parts of it. But I think this landscape, when you think of midlife, I think of honestly my mom and like being super old. And my mom's awesome.
Yeah.
But
She's
it's
a
like,
firecracker. Yeah. I've seen her in
she
your
is.
stories. Yeah.
She is. We'll have to
Yeah.
have her on here. She
Yeah.
is a firecracker. We are leaning more towards my mom. I know for myself, I actually call her about certain things
Yeah.
that are happening to me, like when I'm forgetting words or wearing glasses or one of those
Yeah.
things. And she's, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. That's going to happen. She actually gives me a sense of calm
Mm-hmm.
because we're going that way. And that's one of the great parts of it, too. I think is just these things that are happening to us also are normal, totally normal. And that's okay.
Yes, yes. I remember like when we were a little bit younger and we would have babies, and then like our friends would have babies and they'd be like, why didn't you tell me that would happen?
Totally.
So I want to be that person that says, hey, you're going to get your like little spots. Like this,
Yes.
it's happening. Yes. Yeah. It's real and it happens, and you can't stop time, but you
We're
can.
not going to stop
Yeah.
it. We're not going to stop it. And I
No.
feel like for me, being in midlife, it has been a journey. It wasn't like
Mhm.
I woke up one day and needed glasses. No, it was little by little. It's like these little
Yeah.
things, right? That just creep
Yes.
up. It was first of the glasses. Then it was if I have 3 glasses of wine, like I'm hungover, right?
Oh,
Then it
yeah.
was, yeah, that's the worst, right?
Yeah, I'll have one glass and I'm hungover. That might be altitude too in Colorado. It's really no joke. But the hangover, but it doesn't last like just the morning through afternoon. It lasts a couple days, right? Or
Right.
if you go to bed after midnight.
Oh my God. No, that's the worst.
Yeah.
That's the worst. Even if I'm not drinking, it's just you need your sleep
Right.
so much more.
Yes.
It's one of those things. I am going on a girls trip I'm going to Vermont, and I just felt like I sounded like such a midlife lady because I was saying to my friend, I want to leave when it's light out so I don't have to drive in the dark. And I literally, she's looking at me like, Alex, what are you talking about? My contacts and the glare. Yes, I'm going to blame it on the
Yes.
glare. But it's almost, you know what, Nicole? It's like knowing your limits a little bit better and owning them. And not really, it doesn't affect our fun or our quality of life. Just knowing that there's certain things that we're just not going to do and certain things we will, and just being okay with that.
Yes. Yes. 100%. My best friend was just here in town, and we had all these grandiose ideas, and she's around 5 o'clock. She's just, I'm just okay. If you're okay, we can just grab dinner by the hotel instead of getting dressed up and getting in a cab and going. And it was funny. I'm okay if we do XYZ instead. And it was just like, okay. Whereas before it would have been like disappointed. Okay. Like it is
It's
what
more
it is.
about like,
Yeah.
it's more about the quality of what we're doing, right?
Yes.
It's not, I need to go look super cute and wear the dress and do that. It's more about just spending the time.
Yes.
Having the quality time with the people that you really care about so you can have those real conversations, so you can laugh, you can cry, you can
100%.
do all of those things where it's not so much about where we're going or what we're
Mhm.
actually doing. It's just more about that time that we can be together.
Yes, yes. And that was another thing she said to me. She's like, I don't care where we go, just as long as we're together. And that just confirms everything that you just said.
That's just
Yeah.
such a beautiful statement, though. I'm a crier. I'll cry one point, definitely on this podcast. But just wanting to be with people and the friendships for who they are. And that
Mhm.
took 46 years for us to realize. And
Yes.
appreciating people where they are, meeting them where they are, supporting them where they are. And that's also part of this journey, in addition to the glasses and the gray hair and hating going to all the doctors now, too. All that stuff. There's so much good that comes out of this, too. Was there one
Yes.
point when you realized that you were in this midlife time?
Like a defining moment.
Yeah.
I think maybe when I look back on it, I think it was when I just realized that what I was doing before, it was more physical, like what I
Yeah.
was doing before to maybe lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't working. Nothing was working. Anything that I
Mm-hmm.
tried to do. And I had never really struggled before if I wanted to lose 5 pounds to fit into skinny jeans. I just don't eat anything.
1,000%.
Yeah, don't eat anything white, like no sugar, no bread, dairy. And then it would happen. And then like around 42, it didn't happen. And I
Mm-hmm.
never really struggled with weight. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to join this one program. And I did. But when I joined that program, I had a complete mindset shift with like how I looked at myself. And then like around that time, I had an issue with a friend group.
Hmm.
And I had to really take a step back and look at myself and where my mindset was with my friends and trusting them. And nothing felt right. And excuse me, the thing that like my gut was telling me, like these friends aren't good for you. This is not right for you. Eating like this is not good. It was just like a whole, but this is not healthy. This is not healthy. This is not healthy. And so it was just like a shift in the way everything almost changed. It was like a little domino effect. And I walked away from the friendship. I started doing other things. And then the physical things started changing. Like the skin on my neck, like that was like,
You mean like wrinkly?
yeah, it's just
You're
a
not as
little bit
tight.
looser.
Yes.
Yeah. Like you pull
Oh,
your cheeks up and then this comes up
oh,
too. You're just like,
I forgot
yeah,
about that. That is, I'll
yeah,
look at my neck and I'm like,
yeah,
wow, I just was telling the dermatologist last week, can you fix this? This
yeah,
is not okay with me.
yeah. And
I
I think,
mean,
and I think because too, like I started doing more online things at 43, I want to say,
mhm.
and being in front of the camera, I just would be
Mm.
like, oh my gosh, like I would just notice things more. And then the physical changes with the little sunspots and
All those
stuff
fun
like
things.
that.
Tell me about this friend group. Was
Yeah.
that the time that you were moving? And was it around the time you moved to Colorado?
It was before. I want to say it was maybe a year before. So
Yeah,
they weren't my only friend group. I had
right.
another like friend group, but they were, it had been like the adult friends that I had made with when my kids
Yep.
were younger. And we went on girls trips and we went to each other's houses for the holidays. We all were like transplants or parents lived somewhere else, things like that. We went to each other's kids like functions. It was
Right.
yeah.
Totally.
They were
Yeah.
like your family, right? Like your friends
Right.
who are family. And it was really hard and I really grieved the loss of
Yeah.
those friendships.
So, would you say there was like a change in shift of your mindset, Nicole? Like you were starting to trust your gut a little bit more and be more comfortable in your own skin and who you are. And I guess there's a huge comparison, right? There's a lot of
Yes.
comparison that goes on amongst females. I think really no matter what age you are. So, were you feeling
Yeah.
a little bit of that?
I definitely felt more comfortable in my own skin. It was like one of those things where this was something had happened and I wasn't okay with it and I could have bitten my tongue and moved
Mm-hmm.
forward
Mm-hmm.
with these friendships
Right.
and just dealt with it or just try not to get resentful, or I could have done what and listened to
Mm-hmm.
my gut. And I had gone to a therapist and I told him, I said, I feel like my internal compass is off. I don't know.
Right.
I know it's almost like I know what I need to do, but there was still that part of me that was like, I can't leave this. This is like a whole community. Like it goes way beyond my little circle of friends. But it was hard, but it was the best thing that I could have done. And it was because I was comfortable in my own skin and knowing what I needed versus what I wanted. So
I'm sorry you had to go through that, but I feel like, I know this is cliche, but you're stronger because of it. I think maybe we wouldn't have met if you had those friends.
Maybe, who knows? A job opportunity came up, like I would say 6 months later, and we were like, let's try it. We just felt like it would have been good for the kids, and obviously a big career jump for Jerry. But I think if I would have had those toxic friends, I would have been more like worried to leave my community and try something new. But
something new. All right,
interesting
girl.
how
about
things
we
unfold.
make this midlife? Well, don't call us midlife mom code. That you have to support all your girlfriends, support all your mom friends, no matter what. There's no judgment. There's no comparison. No matter what someone's going through, that you're going to be there for them, and you're going to have fun. You're going to laugh about it for the things that are super tough, and you're going to be there for your friends when they need to cry. I'm a big crier, as I said. And sometimes you just need friends now that just come over with a bottle of wine. And sometimes what I love also, Nicole, is that sometimes you just don't even need to talk. You just need someone there, right?
100%. Yeah. There's nothing better than meeting up with your friend, even if it's just for a little cup of coffee or whatever, and leaving feeling energized. And you may not have talked about anything serious, but just being in the presence of your friend and laughing and just leaving with that pep in your step. Like it fills your cup in a different way, not with like ice water or tea, but it's just so warm and cozy, and you can tackle the rest of your day. And you just know you've got that, like that buzz going.
You're just going to conquer the world, and maybe you just need to conquer the next hour. But when you talk, I remember we used to compare our friendship to a mom date. And I think we may have met, it's like when I met my husband, we met at the right time in the right place. I think we both were looking for something like that. And I got some really good advice from a friend that's older when my kids were little that says, make your girlfriends not based on your kids' friendships, but on moms that you really like. And we are friends with lots of different people because of our kids, not because of our kids. But it's those true friendships that I see that will sustain the time past when my kids go away to college, or that I really will be hanging out in the absence of my kids. And I think that's what really matters.
Yes, 100%.
So we've got our midlife mom code. So that is great. We love that. And just the evolution of friendships at this age, I think is really important, and having that unspoken bond is good. I think why we started this podcast, Nicole, I think that's an important thing that we talk about on the first episode, is what we experienced with this sort of the buzz of this mom date, where we would talk every time and say, oh gosh, wait, I feel like she's taking my sentences. I know what she is thinking and she knows what I'm thinking. And that's not to say we are exact same person, because we're not. And that's what the best of it is. But really setting the stage for this community of women like us that want to be seen, that want to be heard, that know that you're not alone if you got to pull out your glasses to read the menu, or you don't want to drive at night, or you have this like toxic friend that you want to change from. And just knowing that just is a comfort in this community of moms and women.
Yes, you are not alone. We are here with you in the thick of it. Okay, Alix, when did you realize you were in midlife?
Lots of things, but I have to say, when I realized that as a mom, what I was doing for my family is, I'm a super organized person, is I started to feel like I was the fluffer. Let me redefine that, Nicole. Okay, I will. Okay. I would organize all these activities, all these holidays, put the sports gear out, have the meal prepped for my husband and my boys, and yet they would go have the fun. So I'm fluffing everything for them. And I realized, you know what? My kids are at an age where I actually really enjoy spending time with them and I want to spend time with them. I realized I didn't want to be the fluffer anymore. I could be the fluffer and the participator. How about that? Let's
Yeah.
put it at that.
This is our podcast. And as older ladies, we love to give unsolicited advice, right?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
But before we give any more advice, I do want to ask you a question, Alix.
All right. This sounds serious.
The label midlife, are you going to own it? Are you going to own it? Or are you going to not own it?
All right. You may be surprised at my answer, Nicole. I am going to own it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to own the new midlife. And I really, in this podcast and with you, want to redefine what midlife looks like. And I wish there would be another definition on Google. And that would be my hope, defining it. And it will change. What I feel like midlife is right now may be different in 5 years, different in 10 years. I know midlife is between 35 and 65 almost. But I want to be on this journey with you and keep redefining what midlife means. So I'm okay being called midlife. What about you?
Okay, I love your definition. I do. I agree with it wholeheartedly. But the name midlife, to me, that sounds a new phrase for over the hill. Mm-hmm. Remember that? Like you go into Party City and over the hill. Yeah, you're going to start seeing midlife. And to me, it just sounds, this is going to halfway to dead. And there's a lot of life left. Nobody's promised tomorrow, but if we all live till 100, I feel like you live more in the golden years.
We're more on top of the hill, not over the hill.
Yeah, okay. Exactly.
All right. Yeah. That's your word. I love it.
I think
we hope that you also will define midlife in the way that you want to. And we are excited about our next episode.
Yes. Can't wait to see you on the next episode.